What's up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. Jason the X back here with another review. And today I'm taking a look at a figure I have waited a long time for, mainly because I love this game. I love this character. This is the new Spin Masters PlayStation line, and this is their Aloy from Horizon Forbidden West in her Nora Huntress outfit. And I have to tell you, as someone that has waited a long time for this figure, I'm very happy with what I've received so far. I've had it for a couple of weeks now, and I gotta say, everything, I mean, this is almost like a low Figma. I'm trying to remain unbiased here, but I am actually a big fan of this series. This figure is packing 42 points of articulation, comes with 6 face plates, 6 pairs of hands, and it's really hitting it on everything. So let's go ahead and take a deeper look at the figure, starting with the packaging it comes in. So right off the bat, you've got some really good PlayStation style packaging here with that triangle design on the side, a picture of the figure, and some artwork from the game. Of course, you can see this is the Nora Huntress outfit, which I'm hoping this indicates they're going to do a couple of the other outfits that we see her in the game. With as much as they packed into this figure, I would like to see some, maybe some of the other styles, and maybe a different price point, because let me let you guys know, this figure is MSRPing for about 50 bucks. Now, I probably wouldn't have gone that high. Maybe this is, see, this is where we get into the problem of the $40 and $50 range, because I do think this is a $50 figure because you're getting so much with it. Also, the packaging and everything. This is more of a deluxe version. Also, this is definitely a collector line, as you can see by the 17 plus. But anyway, we can get into price later. But yeah, you've got the Shapes collection. I guess that's what they're calling this line. Horizon Forbidden West. More of that artwork we saw on the front there. And on the back, we get the main antagonist of Horizon. Aloy is curious, determined, and intent on uncovering the mysteries of the world. Shunned by her own tribe since birth, she has learned to harness her ability, cunning, and deadly aim to hunt the machines and survive the unforgiving wilds. Now, this is something I do hope that we maybe see some of the machines that we get in the game. She does have a different bow in her hand than what we get, and we'll get into the accessories, but yeah. 6-inch figure, 15 accessories in here. Of course, this has the 2003 Spin Master logo, so I'm wondering if this is like late. But the official licensed product is right there. That could also go into that price point that we're paying. I'm pretty sure this license was not cheap. As you can see, there's the bow. You've got 6 of her faces. I love this face. You got her spear, some arrows. You got a different arrow here, which if you've played the game, she does use different arrows, so this kind of makes sense. None of these are removable, but the bow does look good. But this is just a sleeve on the packaging. You get like little tape to keep everything together. And on the inside, you got very nice artwork of Aloy, a couple of the beasts that you see in the game. You can see her focus is right there. Beautiful artwork on this packaging. On the side, you got the, I forget what these beasts are, you know, you ride them in the game. But this is the Shapes collection, so here's a look at that. And the thing about the packaging is, everything is able to be put back in. This is completely open. So you just pull the figure out. This is in a separate portion that you just untab here. And everything that she has is on a tray. So if you need to store any of your stuff that you're not using or want to keep this packaging, you can just put everything right back in here and store it away. So really good job on the packaging here. This is getting into that premium feel. Now, it's up to you to decide whether 50 bucks is too much for you guys or not, but I think it's working for it. And showing off some more accessories for the figure, you see we get 6 face plates here. All these are like camouflage that she has during the game. I like this I like this one right here. It's kind of like you've discovered a new area. This seems like a very serious hunting face. This one looks like a celebration. You've got her angry face, her action face, and then her side eye, which I love the side eye face. It's one of my favorites. Now, the thing about these is they're all keyed for the head. You see it's got this little upside down U and 2 pegs, and that plugs into the body of Aloy, who I seem to have misplaced. Oh, there it is. Never mind. So you get everything in there. Yes, it looks like a very sick kind of upside down smile. This gory representation here, but you just take the face and plug it in. And there you go. You've got her face there. And man, look at the detail on these. Like, you got the freckles on there. You can see her focus there. And the hair. The thing that's really impressing me about this figure is the paint, but we'll get into that after we look at some more of the accessories. And getting into the hands, you get 4 pairs of hands. You have her fists here. You have open, kind of relaxed hands. You have 2 C-grip hands, and you have the arrows that are used for her archery poses. You got the one kind of notching an arrow, and then one where she's kind of guiding the arrow with the other hand. And as far as her weaponry, you do get a quiver that attaches to her belt, just a little mushroom peg there. You get this nice bow, which, look at all these paint apps on here. All these paint apps cost money. And we're getting like fading down on this fur tail here. You got a lot of paint detail on here, especially when we look at the faces. That detail that you're seeing, that paint job, that's what we're paying for. All of these were a paint swipe, and I gotta say, it's really nice. It does have a little springy cord. This does come out of the packaging pretty warped. I did apply some heat to it to kind of flatten it out, and then just kind of held it in place. There is a little notch for the arrow too, which you've got this arrow. This is like one of the more heavy-duty arrows that you would use when bringing down one of the larger beasts. It is a little bit warped. I just need to put a little heat on it. It is a pretty soft, kind of durable plastic. I wouldn't bend it too much. It looks like that kind that'll bend and you'll get the stress mark. So just be careful with it. And it does have a little notch there for the arrow string, the bowstring. Arrow string, no such thing. And then you've got her spear, which, wow, look at the gold on the end of there. You got the blade, you got white. Look at all this paint. We don't get this with like Marvel Legends and stuff. And I collect Marvel Legends. There's a lot of paint swipes on here, especially on the stem, going down the side. And you got the arrows. You got multiple colors on the arrows going down and fading into that red. This is a good fig. Now, these do have peg holes. You got one that's closed here for a peg on her back, and this one goes all the way through. Now, I have seen where some people are able to get this both, like putting it through the peg here and then putting it through here, but I don't think there's enough room for that. But let's show you a little bit more about the figure. Oh, and one thing I didn't say about the hands is some of them are hinged vertically and some are hinged horizontally. The C-grip hands are hinged vertically. The open hands are hinged horizontally, as you can see. The fists are hinged horizontally, and the arrow hands, the bow holding one is hinged vertically, and the one to hold the arrow is hinged horizontally, which helps her hit some of those arrow poses that you'll see in some of the pictures later on. And as long as we're on the subject of more detail, here's just a look at some of those face sculpts. Wow, look at that. That is so good on this one where it's very camouflaged. The one where she's looking with wonder kind of up at something. I love this effect across the face. And if you play the game, the different face paints offer different things. Here you have her very stern one, and you got a lot of that, you can see a lot of that freckles on there. The angry action face, which focus, yes, very nice. And then you have this very delightful one. This almost looks like that joke meme where it had her smiling, but I do like it. And then, of course, the snarky one, my personal favorite, that kind of side-eye grin. I love that. All right, so let's take a closer look at the figure. Like I said, this is a 1/12 scale figure, and she comes in just over, actually she is right about 5.5 inches tall, which Aloy is not a big character in the game. She's not very tall, so I can kind of understand where this comes in. We'll do some comparisons later. But before we get things on her, I just want you to look at some of the detail on this fig. Just amazing work by the team over at Spin Masters. And I had doubts. I had doubts going in because I got one of their Arcane figures, or the League of Legends figures, I mean, and I was unimpressed. Very unimpressed. But this fig, I mean, the hair is on this kind of softer material. You can see the beads in there going from the dark red down into like kind of the orangey. The braids on her head look very good. And these are all, like the smaller ones are softer plastic, but the ones in the back, they have, they're on articulated ball joints. So you can kind of flare it out get some real good action poses, and we'll go into that. You can see her little focus on the side of her head there. Now the face plates, I saw a couple people complaining that they kind of look like they don't match up, and they don't always, because they are kind of a softer plastic. So you can kind of heat them up a little bit and maybe put them on her face, because in that plastic they will get slightly warped. So just keep in mind that you're going to probably put some heat on there, and it'll make that seam look a lot better. I can't ignore the seam at the ear, but you know, it is what it is. I don't think I would have wanted the faceplates to go past the ear, because that would have been just more warping. But you got the fur on the shoulder, you got some color there, the blue, the beads, you've got the tans on here, going down to her fur gauntlets with the armor on there. Turn around to the back, a lot of paint swipes. You have this design in the plastic as well. That hole there is for the quiver. Getting down to the legs, just more detail, more paint. And as you can see, a lot of possibilities for posing. I do not like that these are single jointed elbows. I don't like that at all. I was very hesitant when I saw that, and it does make it a little bit harder to get some of those poses, but trust me, you can. But looking at the articulation on the figure, you do have toes. They will not bend down, but they will bend up like regular toes should. You have a hinge joint with the peg going into the foot, so you can go all the way around on the peg. You can go up about that far. Look at that. Really far up, really far down. The other thing is she has a ball joint at the bottom of the calf. If you look into the pants here, and I can't really get any light up in there, but there's a ball joint up here. Now, this ball joint might seem like a pretty good idea, but it does kind of contribute to some instability when posing the figure, because it's not a very tight ball joint. It's not loose either. Also, her foot peg here has a little metal pin going through there, and I don't think it's pushed through all the way. No, it's not. I need to heat that up and probably try to push that pin through a little bit more, because it's just like bending out, but I think I can fix that. So that covers like the calf articulation. You can spin 360 on that ball joint, of course. Double jointed knees, of course, they're all pin knees, but pretty good expression on that joint. Goes all the way back there. You do have a cut at the upper thigh, which is covered up well by her skirt piece. So you can get 360 movement out of that. Her legs will, let's see, come on. I haven't tried it yet, but, oh, wait a minute. I think that counts. We have full Van Damnation. Her hips will go out that far. And you do have a ball joint inside of the leg. So this leg can go back. This leg can go forward. Very well. And if you just kind of angle it out, you can get it further forward. She does have an ab crunch at the bottom of her waist, which is, it's good for going backwards. Let me pull my camera back a little bit. But, you know, going forward, you can get some out of it. And her little skirt piece here does cover that up very well. It doesn't go up, it doesn't go down. It's very much set on there. But what I will congratulate them on, this is a very, very expressive upper torso ball joint. I mean, we're talking it can go forwards, back, side to side. Really good. With the ab crunch, you can get some pretty good posability out of the chest area. There is a peg going into the chest. Her shoulders will go up pretty far. This is a separate piece, this top of hers, so it does kind of restrict a little bit. There is a bit of a butterfly joint in there. Not much, but I stand corrected. Nope, that is a lot of butterfly joint in there going back and pretty much going forward. Yeah, I just wasn't moving that far enough. You have a cut at the bicep, give you 360. The single jointed elbows only will allow that much up. It's past 90 degrees, but I think they could have done double jointed elbows, and that would have been a lot better. There's no pin up here though. You do get a cut because it is on a joint with the peg going up into the bicep, so it'll go 360 on that. And I have a pair of her hands. They'll all rotate 360 degrees, and also depending on whatever hand you've chosen to put in there. Like I said, the Hair is on multiple ball joints. You have 3 of them. These 3 pieces move independently. They will pop out every now and then. Her head, wow. Look at this ball joint on the head. It can hit all of the poses. She can look everywhere. There's a ball joint at the lower neck, but I tell you, the one up in the top is very good. I'm guessing it's on like a double barbell. See, as I move this out, it's way up in her head, but her neck is actually going up into the hair on the back. So it's covering that up very well for a joint in there that's just allowing you so much articulation. Oops, popped her face off. That's just disturbing. But anyway, so yeah, this is a good fig. Easily in my top 10. Not perfect at all. But man, I've waited for somebody to do this line right, and I have to say, Spin Master really knocked it out of the park. And if this is an indication of what we're getting from this line, I think I'm all in for it. So anyway, let's go ahead and get some comparisons in. Before we do the comparison, I do want to show her geared up, because you do have this quiver, which also the quiver has some silver on the buckles. Not a lot of detail on the arrows, but you know, I'll let it pass. And that just pegs into that hole on her hip very easily. And she does have a peg, this very delicate peg in the back. Now, this is for the bow and the spear. You can put that in there. And that's on her back. So if you ever have her like holding one weapon and with another plugged in there, I can't get, like there's just enough nub there to try to get the spear on, but it's not going to go. So I kind of cheat, and I will just like put the bow over the spear while it's pegged into her back. And that peg is very delicate. I'd be careful with it. So just depending on whatever weapon she's holding, and of course you can just adjust her hair so it's not like, it looks more natural. But also don't do that too much when this spear is, don't mess with her hair too much while that spear's plugged in. Because I think that peg, it looks like it could break easily. But yeah, everything just plugs into her back, and then she can hold one, or you can get creative and just put one back there. And here we have her compared to some other figures in the line. She is a short character, like I said, but Aloy is like a teenager practically. So we got our Warpath Eclipse, the newest Black Widow to come out, RPM Yellow here, and Scarlet from G.I. Joe. I think this is a perfect scale and size for this particular character. And I'm a 1/12 scale collector all the way, so she's going to fit in perfectly on my shelf, but she's going to kind of get her own spot because, you know, we don't have anything else just yet. Once again, guys, I'll say it was so hard not to be biased on this review because I have just waited so long for somebody to pick this character up and do it right. I was hoping it would be Figma. It turned out it was Spin Masters. Now, I'm going to rank this figure probably about an 8 out of 10, maybe a 9 out of 10, mainly because of some of my, you know, let's go with 8 out of 10, because she's not perfect, and that price point is going to be a bit of a turnoff. There will be more affordable figures in the line, but this figure, looking like it's going to go for 50. We don't have any release dates or who's going to be carrying this as of yet, but just keep your eyes open. It's definitely one that I'm happy to have in my collection, and yeah. Anyway, guys, that's it for me. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, check out some other stuff we have going on, and until next time, guys, oh, of course, go to supercoolnerdshow.com. Follow us at SCNS Live, or you can follow me personally on @JasonTheX anywhere on social media. Until next time, guys, I'm Jason the X, and I'll catch you later.